Hello, dear friends. This is Brother Sean speaking and sharing from my heart about one's spiritual life policy expiring. Heaven forbid. You can imagine if your home, your personal belongings sustain flood damage or theft and you're panic struck, what do? Well, naturally, you go to your insurance premium because that's why you took out your insurance policy, to safeguard your property and personal belongings from fire and theft and damage. And then suddenly you realize that it's out of date. And all those little gentle reminders that you had over the days, the weeks and the months to renew your policy, and you kept saying, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow has come. And you're looking around at all your beautiful little treasures, mementos, that have been passed down from generation to generation. And as you look, you're feeling so bereft and maybe angry at your own stupidity for not acting at the time when you received that gentle reminder from your insurance company that your policy is long overdue, and suddenly catastrophe has struck and you're left with no support. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, the only thing you can do is to pick yourself up and dust yourself down and hopefully learn from your lesson. But do we really learn from our lessons? I know for a fact that I'm one of those people who need several reminders. Well, I used to need several reminders, but not anymore. Not anymore. Because the world we're living in has gone crazy. It's lost its sense of purpose and identity because it's coming from a third dimensional dark energy that's negativity, and it's sucking the energy out of those of us who are trying to survive as light workers. Because you and I both know from previous videos that we have finally found who we are and our life purpose. And we are learning our lessons and learning them well and moving forward through fourth dimensional energy. And hopefully one day soon we will be allowed to embrace fifth dimensional energy and live in the heart, where the ego, the head center, has no more power over us. But coming back to a spiritual life policy, what is that saying to you? What is a spiritual life policy? Well, again, I can only speak from my heart and speak my truth. My spiritual life policy is a gift that the Supreme and the company of heaven have given to me, that I am a co-creator of the divine, that I am a child of God, and that nothing and no one will ever rape that, destroy that, unless I give my power away. And I know for a fact over my lifetime I have given my power away. Oh yes, I'm not sat here as the plasticast saint. I have belittled my promise. I have moaned and groaned with the best of them. I've even bitched with the best of them, forgive me. But in my humanity I have fallen so many times, and that each time I get back up it gets harder. But the one thing I will not do with God's help is renege on the reminders that I am given from the Supreme to ensure that my spiritual policy does not run out. My spiritual policy is God's invitation of Himself and herself to my heart, to embrace a simpler way of living, to live a life that is based, rooted, founded on trust, a life that does not engage in crisis or drama, a life that is not free of illness or anxiety, but it's a life where there is a promise that all my needs will be met, that all my needs will be met, not my wants, but my needs will be met as part of that policy. But the times when I have fallen away, oh yes, monks and nuns are not exempt from periods of distancing their hearts from God through wallowing in their own whatever. We're human. And in our humanity, we too have to learn many lessons. But the lessons that I've been learning over the last God knows how many years has taught me this, that unless I surrender my heart to a loving, faithful, compassionate God, and use my gift of free will and use it wisely, then there's no point in me asking God for help if I'm not willing to hear, to listen. So we need those gentle reminders about our spiritual life policy if there are areas in our life that are alienating our heart from truth, from God's love. And I'm given those gentle reminders throughout the day. Like this video, it was not my purpose this morning to do a video, and it was certainly not a topic that I would have willingly embraced. I was just on my way after morning prayer to feed the dogs and the hens, and then get myself ready to go into the market in our nearby village and stock up on some gardening utensils that I need in this fine heat wave. But then my heart spoke spiritual life policy. I hadn't done any preparation. I had no notes. So I honored my heart. I honored the reminder from my insurance company, the Supreme Company. And I sat here, I'm talking with you now, and whatever I'm sharing is coming from God through my heart. Well, I trust it's coming from God. I can't be blasphemous enough or arrogant enough to say I am a channel for God. I'd like to think that in my vulnerability and in my availability that God will use me at some time to speak His truth and love. So you may be given a gentle reminder from this video that you need to reactivate your policy, your spiritual life, that there may be areas in that relationship with God where you need to take responsibility in order to feel the protection, the sustenance, the joy, the peace. It is entirely up to you. But only you can do that. The company of heaven cannot force you to do it. And there's no use us complaining like the family who have had flood damage. They've had all the reminders going, and they refuse to act on those reminders and renew their policy contents insurance. Then when the floods came, All their personal belongings were damaged, and they had to start all over again. Can you imagine the stress? Well, so too with the spiritual life. We are living in exciting times, in the times of Christ consciousness, and we are ascending as is Mother Earth and the animal kingdom. My advice is activate your reminder, embrace your spiritual life, and reawaken the divine within your heart. God bless you.